Hi guys, welcome back to Frankie and Kallie, where we talk to you about our goals, take you along on our adventures, and share weekly vlogs. Today we are talking about the 10 things you must know before moving across the country.
Alright, number 1. First thing you want to do is you want to transfer over your bank account if you're currently banking at a local bank or credit union. Only because it's going to be such a hassle when you're moving across the country or just to another state and you have no access to your funds, or your card gets declined at like a gas station and you really need to go. It's a lot easier, saves a headache. Just do your research before.
Frank and I both bank at local banks or credit unions, so that's a big thing we need to do within the next few months.
We do.
Okay, number 2, research moving companies before you move and shop around. Take into consideration what you want to do. Do you want to have someone actually move your items for you? Do you want to put a trailer on one of your vehicles? Do you want to do the pod situation? Also look into the company's history and background, because
There's a lot of scammers.
Yeah, you don't want to get scammed. 2, you actually want your items to get there and not broken. And 3, look at reviews. People like to share positive and negative experiences. So just take those into consideration, because they're true and weird things can happen. So just do your research.
Number three. Okay.
Number 3, take into consideration how you are going to get there. Do you want to get there by plane, train, bus, car? Make sure to think about your animals and if you have children too. Personally, we're going to move to Florida from Minnesota, and it's a 23-hour drive, and I do not like road trips. And the 3 animals, I just would get super stressed in that situation, and knowing us and our dynamics, we are just going to fly, and we're going to bring the animals, and it's going to be so much easier on both of us.
Perfect. It's gonna nothing's gonna go wrong.
Yeah, but also be prepared to have backups just in case.
We have a plan A, B, C, so
just be comfortable with anything, but do have your ideal situation figured out. Number 4, make sure to switch over your car insurance. Ask your current provider if they will cover the new state you are moving to, and if they don't, find someone new. Also think about if you have other recreational vehicles like a boat, an RV, a 4-wheeler, snowmobile, anything like that.
Definitely taking our snowmobile to Florida, because that
the snowmobile we don't have.
I wonder how much that would cost to insure.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if your insurance goes up or down. Knowing that we are going to move to Florida, it's going to jump up, and we know that. And maybe that's something that will deter you from one state or the other. So just do your research.
Do you think snowmobiles will work on the sand?
I don't know.
That would be pretty fun.
Maybe.
Should we bring ours?
We don't have one.
They don't have to know that. Alright, number 5. You'll want to know if you're gonna rent, if you're gonna buy a house, or if you're unsure which neighborhood you're gonna live in, kind of like us. We might have a month-to-month lease, and just so we can scope out where we want to live. There's some neighborhoods really close to like Whole Foods. She absolutely loves Whole Foods. So we're kind of basing our residence honestly close to Whole Foods, just because we shop there so much. Yes, and an airport as well, because we're going to be away from our family. So we really want a good way for them to come visit us and for us to go visit them for pretty affordable flights. So
yeah, and if you are, let's say you close on your house from point A and you are still 2 or 3 weeks out from getting into your new house at point B, take into consideration Airbnbs too. Those could be a great just kind of buffer for you instead of having to get like a month-long apartment lease.
Number 6. So what we kind of found really helpful is we went on Facebook and we just looked up the place we're moving to. Like, we want to move to Tampa. So I just went on Facebook, looked up moving to Tampa groups, and we found 3 really good groups. They're all realtors, people who did the exact same we did.
Or are planning to do it.
Yes, any question you have, you can honestly just ask the group. And they helped us tremendously.
Yeah, a lot.
Like, the only reason we were able to come up with this list is because of all the ideas they gave us and the things that they wish they did when they moved as well. So definitely taking consideration to do that.
Number 7, start downsizing now. If you know that there's something you were going to get rid of as soon as you moved, just get rid of it now. Whether it's a couch or just clothes or maybe broken, I don't know, dishes or appliances, find an appropriate way to either sell, dispose of, recycle, gift, anything. to just get it off of your plate, because when you're moving, you don't want to bring something. Let's say it's a coffee table and it is a junky coffee table, but you were just going to bring it so you didn't have to buy one there. Well, in reality, if that coffee table takes up a lot of space in the moving truck,
it's going to cost way more just to ship that over than just buying a new one there. And it'll be better.
Yeah.
So
you could list things on Facebook Marketplace. You can give things to friends. I think some cities have like curbside days where you can put things out on the boulevard and people can come and take them for free. Just start doing it now, because if you are even a year away from it still, it just helps to lighten the load. And start over fresh.
Number 8, you'll want to save every box you have in your house, no matter how big, small, like, or if you want newspapers, anything,
tissue paper, bubble wrap,
just to put around your glass. Because I mean, I have a giant glass desk. I have no idea how I'm gonna wrap that up with. Probably with boxes. So.
Or bubble wrap too. But seriously, anytime you order off of Amazon, or I don't know, get anything delivered, just save the box. We have a stash downstairs, and it's probably
taking
like,
over our basement.
Yeah.
We have no basement.
Because what's the like? There's no fun in buying boxes just to like move it and then, you know, recycle them once you get there. So just start saving now. And yes, we'll probably have to buy more, but that's okay. We just won't have to buy as many as we would have had we not started saving.
Number 9, you'll want to figure out how much it costs to live there versus where you're living at now. One thing that we really like to use is, what was the website? It was...
I think it's just costoflivingcalculator.com.
I just Googled cost of living.
Right.
And the calculator was right there. Like, we're moving from Minnesota to Tampa, and cost of living doesn't change at all. So I just have to make sure that the next job I get is around the same or possibly a little more than what I'm doing now.
Especially if you have several places in mind that you would like to live to, just do a quick search, and maybe that can deter you from one place to the other, especially if you are keeping your job and working remote. Then when you're getting if you are getting a new job, you'll want to make sure you are getting more than you're currently paid now if it's higher. And finally, number 10, make sure to transfer any current paper bills that you have over to electronic. It's also just good for the environment, but too, it will make sure to protect your security, because you want to make sure that no one will get your information after you're gone. And I know you'll put it forward on your mail too at your local post office. But there is still a slight chance. The house we live in now, we currently get mail from like 2 to 3 homeowners previously, so they didn't do...
It's terrible. Like,
yeah.
I know.
They didn't do the right precautions, so we could easily like steal their information, but we're not going to, obviously. But you can't trust anyone nowadays, so be proactive. All right, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for joining us to hear about the 10 things you must know before moving across the country. If you have any other ideas for us to film or questions you want answered, leave them in the comments below.
Like and subscribe.
Everything will also be listed in the comments too, the 10 steps.